beast being the AMG GT S is a twin turbocharged 4-liter V8. There are a few things that are very specific about this engine. First and foremost, it is hand-built by the same guy for this one specific car. Just that oozes exclusivity. God, I could just bathe myself in that stuff. Well, the other thing too is that it makes 503 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. Yes, this car is quick, but when you think back to it, 503 horsepower really doesn't seem like that much, especially in 2015, 2016, when big HP numbers are a calling card. But see, all that torque comes in as low as 1,750 RPM. Now that's the kicker. Currently I'm in comfort mode, cruising along in automatic. Everything is wonderful. And you can imagine what comes next. Yes, there's a Sport and a Sport Plus modes, which Sport is pretty good for driving on the highway. Sport Plus gets kind of edgy. And then there's a race mode too, which you won't use on a daily basis, which you'll probably never use unless you actually track the car. When you sharpen it up, it becomes nearly intolerable unless you're on a perfectly smooth surface. It's really weird. The car feels overly agitated by the road surface, by what's going on. It feels like, oh, you never know, I might have to dart around a twig or something. And it also shows in the steering and in the way the car handles with the suspension being stiffened up. It stays really, really flat, which is great, but you pay the price on a daily basis. The other element to this powertrain is the 7-speed dual-clutch AMG speed shift transmission. It is lightning fast, not as edgy or not as refined perhaps as Porsche's PDK, but it's damn near close. Personally, I love it in manual mode. Because manual mode means you get to use these little paddles. So the bottom line is this. 7th gear, 6, 5, 4, 3. Yeah, see, now I'm going to jail because had there been a cop there, they would have picked me up because I couldn't tell you how fast I was going, but I can tell you I was going pretty fast. That's this car. This AMG GTS is about power, but it's not only about that, it's about handling, because as we very well know, power is nothing without handling. There's a weird thing about the new GT, is that compared to the SLS, this is less of a GT than the SLS was. This car is very harsh, has very sharp edges to the drive. In fact, over expansion joints, the ride is actually crashy in comfort. Perhaps one of the coolest aspects of the car is steering in relation to the length of the bonnet. It really feels like you're navigating. The steering response is quite quick, but you're steering from the nose, you're not like steering from where you're sitting, because you are sitting way behind the front axle, just ahead of the rear axle. It's a great car to drive, but as a Mercedes, it oddly doesn't have the refinement I expected in the drive. But as a true sports car, I think it's actually sportier than a Huracan. Where I'm concerned, did you hear that? Yeah, because that's the Sport exhaust that just opened up. You want to hear more? I know you do, huh? Because you can just never get enough of the sound that an AMG V8 makes. The throttle is sharp, the engine is sharp. It's actually a German Viper.